Hey, and what up? And welcome back to the Relationship School podcast. I'm your host, Jayson Gaddis, coming at you from Boulder, Colorado. This podcast is all about love, connection, intimacy, relationship. How do we do this part of our lives better? How do we actually improve this part of our lives? By the way, if you have not read Gabor Mate's new book, The Myth of Normal, you should get it. Trying to get him on the podcast is difficult right now because the guy is everywhere on all the big podcasts. And it's an amazing book that I think is a relationship book. It's like we're basically getting sick because we are disconnected from ourselves and from each other. So check that book out. Love that guy. He's one of our ambassadors, and he's been on the podcast before a couple of times. If you want to Google Gabor Mate, Jayson Gaddis podcast, you'll find him. All right. I just want to thank our Facebook community. You guys are really awesome and active. And the top contributors as of late are Tracy M, Melanie R, Till's always in there bringing it, Angela, Betsy, Ava, Betty, Laura, Lesty, and Karen. You all are very engaged in there, and it's really cool to see people engage and support and challenge each other. Thank you. All right. In this short episode, I've got a very important subject to talk about. So this is the number one reason why your partner won't do the work when things get hard. A lot of you find yourselves with partners who, for whatever reason, don't want to participate and come along for the relationship journey. And I was talking to someone recently, a mother who's, scared to break up her family. And she said, he just won't open the door. And he can't see that if all he has to do is open the door and walk through it, and his whole world will open up. And why won't he do it? So we were talking about that. Why won't he open the door? And why won't she open the door? Why won't they open the door? It's a really good question. And, I have a general answer because obviously it's specific to the person. But some of you find yourself with a person who won't meet you halfway, right? Especially when it gets hard after the honeymoon stage is over. It's like, oh, man, we have so much potential. We could just work through this conflict and we'd be good. And that's potentially true. But for whatever reason, the person won't do it. Okay? Now, one thing you have to understand if you're listening to this podcast about human behavior is human beings are hedonistic. That means we prefer pleasure over pain, and we want often a one-sided reality, which is one that feels good and doesn't feel bad, and one that doesn't include any form of discomfort. Humans don't like discomfort. Have you noticed that? I mean, I don't like being uncomfortable. And I know that being uncomfortable is good for me, right? You all know I'm going to the gym now and lifting weights, and it's uncomfortable. It doesn't feel good. When I'm doing it, I sometimes I want to wiggle out of that last set, right? But it builds new muscle, new neural pathways, and it makes me stronger. And I know this cognitively, right? So I'm trusting that this is how it works in terms of my physiology, and it certainly is true because I've been going to the gym now for a little while. But your person, for whatever reason, doesn't like discomfort. It's that simple, okay? So for example, my daughter recently was experiencing growing pains, and kids experience growing pains. Some kids don't. Some kids are numbed out, and so they don't feel them. But some kids do feel them. They feel their achy knees, shins, legs, joints, bones. And it's just like, it's hard you can't get away from it. And she's literally in pain, a little bit of discomfort, because she's literally growing. She's becoming taller and thicker, and she's becoming, a little tween. And pretty soon she'll be a teen, and then pretty soon she'll be an adult, and she's going to keep growing, and it might hurt, When young children, 6 months old to 2 years old, learn to walk, they fall down a lot. They hit their head. They smack their head on a table or the floor. And guess what they do? They just keep getting back up because they really want to walk. It's incredible to watch a child learn how to walk. If you've never been a part of that, it's highly recommended. So it kind of hurts to grow. And your person, for whatever reason, doesn't like that. Okay? In my marriage, I have felt a tremendous amount of pain, fear, rage, sadness, grief, anxiety. I've felt probably just about everything. And same as being a parent, being a dad. I felt a lot of discomfort becoming a father, being a father, showing up for myself and my family. I've been extremely uncomfortable. And to this day, when Ellen and I are in a fight or an argument or we're disconnected, it's painful for me and it's uncomfortable and I don't like that. Okay. So I'm with you. I'm with you in that, and discomfort's not my favorite thing either. And you chose someone who really doesn't like this at all. They do not like discomfort in the relational sphere. They might like it playing their favorite sport or, doing some other activity. They might like it. They might see value. For example, you might have someone that goes to the gym and they'll be all kinds of uncomfortable there, but they will not be uncomfortable in your marriage or your relationship. It's interesting, right? So this is value specific. Some of us are fine being uncomfortable when we care about the thing a lot. If we don't care about it as much and we feel shame and insecure and not very good at it, we don't want to be uncomfortable. Yeah. Okay. A lot of people, like your ex-person who doesn't like discomfort, they think you can get a good relationship by finding the right person, and doing absolutely nothing to make the relationship great. They think they can have great health maybe with no exercise or effort on their part. So they're ignorant to how good, secure relationships work. And here's the thing about human nature. If people perceive that getting the relationship they want requires growth, and that growth is going to involve pain and discomfort, they won't do it. Most humans won't do it. They resist change. They don't want to face themselves. They don't want to look into their history. They don't want to take responsibility for the fact that they're totally scared and insecure as a person, et cetera, right? And if they stay in the relationship long enough with you, much to their chagrin, they're going to hit discomfort, guaranteed, 100%. But one thing that's different about them versus you is when discomfort comes, they're going to do one of three things. They're going to run, they're going to check out, or they're going to sabotage the relationship. Okay? Running. That means getting away from my pain. All right? Running away, meaning this relationship, they're going to make you wrong potentially and just fire you and move on. Right? They're going to have an affair or cheat on you, etc. Number two, they're going to check out because they fear being alone. They stay, but they don't. So they don't want to end the relationship, but they start to check out of the relationship, even though they're still there. Okay, sports and Netflix and everything else becomes more important than you, and they just fuzz out. And they want to do the bare minimum of keeping you from leaving them. Three, sabotage. They unconsciously throw grenades at the potential of the relationship because they don't believe they can have what they truly want. They make it seem like the relationship just won't work. It's too hard. And so they act in ways that will make the relationship fall apart. Okay, so sadly, this is, just true about human beings in my experience. And people that come to the relationship school and listen to this podcast and want to learn are growth development-oriented people. It's kind of what I generally label you guys. Growth development-oriented people. And you're interested in, you understand this basic principle that if I want to get something in life, it's probably going to need, I'm probably going to need to put in some effort. And I'm going to have to feel uncomfortable some of the time. Okay, basic, right? But your person, or that's the ex that you're maybe thinking about right now, they're not down. And there's a few other subtle reasons they don't want to do the work. One is they're in shame, and particularly men. When men go into shame, they get extremely defended around their shame, and they don't want to admit that they're ashamed, that they're sucking at the relationship. They're sucking at taking responsibility. They're sucking at loving you. All that. They're just falling down hard. And being witnessed in that and admitting that takes a lot of courage and personal responsibility. Another reason is they subscribe to fantasies about how relationships work, like I was alluding to earlier. You meet the one, you find the right person, and it all should work out. It shouldn't be this hard. So they're subscribing to, fairy tales, and also they're in deep shame. And of course, there's other reasons, but these are some of the common ones. Okay. So know this about your resistant partner. or your resistant ex. And please be on the lookout for people. Choose partners who are willing and able to grow, adapt, and change. And steer clear of people that just want comfort, ease. They just want pleasure without pain. That's not someone you want to be around. If you want to crush it and succeed and have an awesome, secure, strong partnership over time. Okay. So as you develop yourself here, you want to get very good at being with discomfort and pain, because you're going to get stronger. You're going to become a empowered relational leader. That's what we're all about here. Okay. Amazing. Thanks, everyone. I hope this little podcast was useful. And thanks for being a subscriber, sharing with your friends, leaving us a review, leaving me a book review on Amazon. It's all huge. It goes a long way. Thanks, folks. Talk soon. As you know, I've dedicated my life to helping people with their relationships, right? I want to solve this problem so that all of you can work through your differences and have fulfilling, amazing, badass partnerships and relationships, family, coworkers, friends, whoever. And I have trained a ton of relationship coaches, almost 100 certified relationship coaches, to help you specifically work through your relationship challenges. So I want to invite you to a special deal we're offering to the podcast listener, where you can get 50% off your first month of coaching with one of our amazing relationship coaches. Okay, if you're tired of therapy, it feels like that's going around in a circle, or you want to actually set goals and accomplish your relationship goals, hire a relationship coach. Okay, go to relationshipschool.com/get coaching now, and then use the coupon code FIRST50 to get the 50% deal off your first month of relationship coaching. Super psyched to have our amazing coaches serve you and help you get to the next level. Hey, thanks so much for listening. Please subscribe to this YouTube channel. Share one of these videos with a friend. We want to help the planet get their act together around relationships, and you are one of them, so thank you.